Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface on the PTR for patch 5.2. That's why I'm on my dire horn, but yes, I am in a battleground. So what on earth am I doing here? Well, I'll get to those reasons in a moment. First, a little bit of background. I do get a lot of requests from people to put out PvP videos on my channel, and it's something I've always resisted the temptation to do, and the reason why is it just didn't feel that organic to me. As far as I'm concerned, my channel is about a regular WoW player doing videos for other regular WoW players. It's never a place for me to showcase my skills or show off, as you'll clearly see throughout the course of this video. No, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a great WoW player. I'm not a terrible WoW player either. I'm just a regular WoW player. And I think there are vastly more of us in the game than the elitist side. So if you wanted to see PvP on my channel, you were never ever going to get the upper echelons of arena or rated battlegrounds. You're probably never ever going to see me get to 2,400 or possibly even 2,200. You are only ever going to see a regular WoW player's progression in these situations. So, that said, why am I in a BG recording it? Firstly, Blizzard put out a post that said on Friday night, between the hours of 4:30 PM and 6:30 PM Pacific time, which actually equates to midnight to 2:30 AM merry old England time. So yes, I am pretty darn tired while I'm doing this recording, that they will come on their characters and we will be able to engage them in PvP combat in random battlegrounds. And that was an opportunity I sincerely could not miss. We could tell who they were because there had been two guilds, Blizzard Horde and Blizzard Alliance, depending on what faction they were actually going to play on. That said, and the cynic is going to rear its ugly head in me for a moment, I did 2 hours of this PvPing last night, and not once did I come across somebody from Blizzard Alliance to team up with. I did, however, come across plenty of people from Blizzard Horde. Joy. As once more, I find that I've isolated myself from the rest of my teammates, and I'm just going to get absolutely crushed. Okay, so it's about now that I realise that I am really, really playing badly. And if I am to succeed in this battleground, I need to have some support of my teammates, so I don't go wandering off like a complete buffoon. And we're also losing, so I do need to get my act together. The second reason why I'm here is because on the PTR for patch 5.2, you can buy the full Tyrannical PvP set with gold. You don't have to grind out conquest points with which to get it. There is a huge torrent stood in both the Pandaren capital cities, Shrine of the Two Moons and also Shrine of the Seven Stars. Speak to him and you can actually purchase it from them. So what that means is the vast majority of players here in these random battlegrounds are going to be kitted out head to toe in the full Tyrannical PvP set. So from a gear perspective, we are at our maximum potential that we can possibly be in 5.2 PvP wise. And that leads me on to the third reason why I'm here. I was thinking, when the PTR ends and I start to do some live videos again, I may do a video on my progression in Arena in patch 5.2. Would I succeed? Would I do well? Would I do terribly? Would I just do distinctively average? I thought it would sate the people that wanted to see PvP vids, and I would also be able to control it from the point of view of a regular WoW player. Bearing in mind, of course, Blizzard have made these changes to the PvP gear in 5.2 to allow it to be more competitive, or so they say. But there's one thing that gear can never ever equalise, and that is class imbalances. This is the World of Warcraft, this is PvP, and Blizzard are synonymous for having class imbalances when it comes to this situation. And it's not just that, we're in our darkest days in PvP on this game at the moment. We really genuinely are. Patch 5.0 and patch 5.1 brought the most ridiculous changes. We had this monumental gulf in the item level of gear. Suddenly, if you were to buy the Honor gear, you got it at 458. But if you were to purchase the Conquest gear, it was at 483. It was a huge whopping gulf indeed. If you started later on in the season, you were coming up against people that not only had the best gear, but the best gear leveled up twice. It was pure and utterly a matter of when you started to PvP. Now, Blizzard always go on about how much there is to do in the game. We've got dailies, we've got scenarios, we've got dungeons, we've got raids, we've got PvP. Well, you can't do all that in a single solitary second, so you have to prioritise which way you want to go. What I did is I decided to actually prioritise the PvE chain this time round. Sometimes I haven't, sometimes I have prioritised PvP. But when I actually came to doing Arena, which was only about 4 or so weeks ago, I think this is the 5th week that I'm actually going to be doing it, I was so far behind, it was unreal. We were getting crushed by people of a similar level, but not because we were similarly geared and they were just better than us, because they're already in the situation where these types of teams were having boosters attached to them that were in all the best gear. They'd already left their teams, got the good gear, and were just boosting their friends or guild members or whatever, so they themselves could get into a situation where they'd be able to get it as well. Now, over the course of the 10 or so battlegrounds that I did that night, it started to become pretty apparent who the dominant classes in patch 5.2 PvP were going to be, and it'll come as no shock to the WoW community at all when I say the word rogues. Yes, rogues, I've got nothing against you personally. Well, that's a complete lie. I'm a warlock. I have everything under the suns against you personally. You've been ganking me for 7 bloody years. That said, it is becoming so boring to see rogues at the top of the PvP chain season after season after season. And I know you took a nerf in patch 5.1, but believe me, it was nowhere near as bad as you made it out to be. In actual fact, your reduced utility brought you in line with a lot of other classes, and you also had to start to think about how to kill people as opposed to relying on a single stun lock. Welcome to the real world, but don't worry, you weren't in there for very long at all. Frost and Blood DKs, my god, you are going to shine. Blood DKs are harder to kill than Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Frost DKs, you're pumping out so much damage, you are becoming very scary indeed, and are crushing spellcasters, apart from the Big M, the Big Frost Mage. Now, mages have so much utility still, they are always going to shine until something's done about it. In actual fact, if Plan A doesn't work for them, they can always rely on Plan B. If Plan B doesn't work for them, then they can always go down to about Plan F, which if you looked a mage in the eye, they would simply say stands for F you, you can't kill me. But they're the 3 classes that I can certainly see being right at the top of the trees. Warriors, don't worry, your nerfs aren't as bad as you make out. Warlocks, I think we've got a little bit of troubled waters ahead with the removal of Blood Fear. But I needed to show a video where at least I came out on top. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Also, follow me on Twitter and like my Facebook, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.